Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be revisiting an old friend, let's just say. Okay, this person is somebody I've talked about recently not too long ago. If you want to go watch the video on why I don't like Animat anymore, I left the video down in the description below and up at the annotation, but that video is actually still getting some views as I am recording this right now. So I really thank you guys for watching that video. And I really think for the new subscribers that have subscribed to my channel because of that video and look through some more of my content, thank you all so much. And I really do mean it. You guys are awesome. And I'm really glad for the feedback that I got from you all. Now, there were a few people that disagreed with me and that were absolutely, let's put it nicely, small-minded, but hey, those were just the minorities on that comment section in that video. The majority of you definitely agreed with me on everything that I pretty much said, but I do want to give some updates on what my new and fresh thoughts on the entire Animat situation is, because wow, there were definitely some things that I knew none of it about until recently, and I'm actually glad one person who goes by the name Timberwolf, who actually mentioned this clip right here. I'm gonna play it and you tell me what's wrong with it.
With Netflix canceling shows after season 1, keep in mind that this is the company that allowed Cuties to be on services and canceled Tuca and Birdie. Oh god, are you one of those people that do believe in the conspiracy theories against Cuties, dude? Oh boy. What?
So, you guys just heard that, right? Now, if you don't know what the movie Cuties is, that is a French film that caused a major controversy back in 2020, where the plot of the film is about a group of underage girls. Yeah, you heard that right, underage girls who are not even in high school. They're like, what, elementary, almost middle school? Yeah, it's basically a dance group where, you know, they're literally shaking their asses, twerking, and provocative dance moves on their group, where everybody else is shocked in the film, and yeah, everybody else in real life was. So, I mean, I know that's not the entire plot of the film. It's very complicated, and let's just say the majority of online folks had a lot of negatives about the film, rightfully so. But that clip I just showed you right there, holy shit. I had no idea that Animat thought the whole situation about people going against Cuties was a conspiracy theory. I would like to ask, what the fuck does he think was that a conspiracy theory? In fact, I found out where this clip of that I just showed you right there was in an episode of his podcast called Animat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, which I'll admit, I did listen to a little bit of his podcast in the past when I did used to subscribe to him. Not a whole lot, but yeah, a lot of it were horrible takes in what he thought what was going on in the animation community, what about releases of movies at the time, just basically all of that. But wow, and that was all the way back in 2020. How has no one called him out before? There was already a guy online who used to have a review of Cuties, and I don't think that video is up anymore, but it was some guy that went by the name Mr. Girl, whatever. He was like an extreme SJW feminist who was actually defending Cuties. He was that one weirdo that defended the film, and he had predatory comments about it too, but of course that caused a lot of backlash, but no one mentioned this particular comment that Animat made about that. And there was another user by the name Wooden Railway Oliver 20 who made a short, less than a minute video, exactly how everybody else was feeling about what Animat said here.
If anyone watches this video, can you please go request Animat aka Electric Dragon 505 to go review Netflix Cuties? Because I and many others really want to know if he still defends that disturbing snuff film or not. That episode of Animat's Crazy Cartoon Cast a little too wild. That episode is aged as well as rotting milk in the fridge. Like, terribly. Could you imagine how much massive backlash he'd receive nowadays if he tried to defend the movie now? Or the director now? That would be the final nail in the coffin for him. There's no way he'd come back from that. I really want to know if he still defends that movie or not, so please, if anyone sees this video, please go onto Patreon, request him to go review that movie, just to test him. Honestly, I should have done this back in like November 2020, if not earlier, and I apologize for that.
Am I gonna go as far as saying that Cuties is a snuff film? No. I'm gonna just say this right here. I've done some, learning what snuff films are, and I'm gonna just say this, they don't exist. So basically, like, the definition of snuff films, from what I've learned before, are when customers or the audience are paying for the person to torture and even murder people, but that's not what a snuff film is, because it doesn't exist. So that's a whole different subject in a near future for a video, but no, snuff films do not exist. But I will say, this guy does bring a very good point on what he was talking about, because if Animat reviews that movie, I would assume mostly positive things to say about the film, and that scares me, really. Am I going as far to say that Animat is a pedophile? No. But it does seem like Animat is definitely defending it because, well, the Timber Wolf that I mentioned earlier that showed us the clip on his channel that I just showed you earlier of Animat defending Cuties described why Animat would defend it. So here are the screenshots right here from the video that I uploaded about Animat that he mentioned, and that would explain so much, because I did mention in my last video that Animat is a major hypocrite. I forgot to mention in the part of the video where in that screenshot I just showed you, Timberwolf also mentioned that Animat felt bad for the pedo that was also a rapist that got shot by Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy that was responsible for that one shooting a long time ago. That whole situation's for another time, about the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation. Yeah, but I'm just pointing this out because I do remember now he did mention that Anna actually felt sympathy for the guy that got shot by Kyle, and turns out the guy that got shot by him was actually a really terrible person. So anyways, back to the video. And yeah, this definitely points it out. The fact that he's defending the director of Cuties because she's a black woman. Now, this isn't the first time that Animat has defended somebody because of diversity sus here. Just because of diversity, not because of morality. Now, this isn't the first time he's done this. But what's so ironic that I forgot to mention also right here that, remember when back in 2015 that he reviewed Where the Dead Go to Die? What he said in his own words, the worst animated film he's ever seen. It's ironic because he rightfully so called out that guy for making honestly one of the worst films ever. I do not blame him on that, but did not call out the director of Cuties just because it was a woman that directed, specifically a black woman. The hypocrisy right there. This is exactly what, and people brought it up in the comment section of my last video, that he's just an angry SJW who will defend somebody for diversity reasons, not for ethnical reasons. And that's true. And I'm not somebody who's against diversity, but I am also somebody who's going to defend somebody on ethnical issues too, not just because of just the diversity. So I'm more in the gray area of I'm into diversity, but I'm also into morality and common sense. Does that make sense to you all? Because I sure think so, which Animat definitely fails to understand on that one over the years. And there was another person that made another comment on my video. Anybody who mentions Animat, they wish to call him out on his racism, and also the fact that Animat, quote unquote, is against racism, calls out white Christians thinking they're all the problem, which I forgot to mention on my last video, but yeah, he definitely does that a lot. And you do very much bring out a good point. Like I just mentioned earlier, you calling out Jimmy Screamer Claus who made Where the Dead Go to Die. Yeah, that's the guy's fake name. Just what's going on with it? But not call out the black director who's a woman for Cuties. Like I said, for diversity reasons. The difference is with Where the Dead Go to Die, it's an animated movie. Yes, believe it or not, it's an animated movie. Horribly animated. The worst animation I've seen. I will say right there, seeing it once. Don't watch that movie, trust me. You're gonna have nightmares for days on that film. But not call out for the movie Cuties, which is a live-action film exploiting children. Does that not seem like a problem to you? The racism that this person brings up, because yes, like I said, Animat claims for diversity on that, while also calling out for white folks that don't fit his standards. Not surprised on that one. So I do want to mention also on that cartoon podcast that Animat has too, I did leave a comment on the timeline, the estimated timeline here of what I stand by in that podcast episode. As far as I'm aware, that comment is still on his video where I basically asked him the question, what do you mean it's a conspiracy theory? Like, I would like to know about that. And everybody else does too. Matt Boy, even other liberals were calling out Cuties. Believe it or not. Yes, I'm not kidding when I say this. Even people who were a little bit more left-leaning were even calling out the film too. You got a lot to explain on that, buddy. And there was another comment I do remember that somebody mentioned as well, was his episode of Alice Through the Looking Glass, which is a film, which is a sequel to Alice in Wonderland, the live-action film. And oh yeah, I remember at the end of that review, he does get naked on that one, which by the way, yes, he does. You do not want to see Animat nude. It's not worth it. Do you see everything? No, but oh my god. I mean, he definitely does it with YouTube standards, but Jesus, I remember seeing that and, oh, okay, we're moving on. So yeah, that's really the main update I wanted to bring up about it, because this is very concerning, and I'm surprised no one has called him out a long time ago for all, especially defending Cuties. Sorry, I can't with that one. So I do want to thank the Timberwolf user for that. I did thank him for that on Twitter as the reply to my video. So I really do thank you, Timberwolf, for mentioning that, because I would have never known this until you mentioned it. So thank you, dude. I think the only good thing I could say about Animat, if it's even good news is that he's still bashing Elon Musk on Twitter, which... is that really surprise? No, but somehow that's the least of our problems on that one. Whether you like Elon Musk or not, I mean, dude, get a life. I also do want to mention, I had a message on DeviantArt right here as well that, I did swear the F-bomb a lot, the word fuck or fucking a lot as well in the last video. I'll admit, I most certainly did. And honestly, I'm trying not to in this. But it is still very frustrating nonetheless that Animat is still defending Cuties. But I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. And I'm not normally somebody to go by what people expect me to do on my content, but I will admit I probably should not use the F-bomb a lot all the time, so I really am trying, at least here, as little as I can. The last thing I want to mention is Huey Tumor. He actually left a comment on my original Animat video, why I don't like Animat anymore. Yes, believe it or not, Huey Tumor himself actually thanked me for even making the video and for addressing it. No problem, Huey, and you keep being you. So, what do you guys all think? I think Animat has definitely not changed in the slightest at all. He's still doing the same shit, going with his political views when he shouldn't be, and just getting angry at people that are just not like him at the slightest. So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you like my content, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. Have actually blown up just a little bit on my channel after that video. So thank you all for that. And even the last video on my strange online communities has even gotten a little more views than what I would imagine. So yeah, you guys, if you guys want to also look at my older content too, that's totally fine. And that's all I really gotta say. And if you want to support me on Patreon, I have a link tree down below where you can look at all my social media accounts and where my Patreon is at and my art shop's at as well. Thank you all for watching and take care.